From deep in the Burbank Media District, it's time for another edition of My Burbank Talks, presented by the staff of My Burbank. Now, let's see what's on today's agenda as we join our program.
Hello, everybody. Craig Sherwood here with you, of course, with the band. We have Craig Durling.
Hey, everybody.
And, of course, Ross Benson.
We have Good Morning America. Can I take this hat off now?
Yes, but...
I comb my hair.
How about Good Evening America?
Oh, you got your hair did.
Oh, I can't say America? No?
No, you can't say morning because...
America.
Oh, shoot.
Unless we're in New York right now. And even, yeah...
Could be any time of day.
It would be midnight. It'd be at 2600 midnight New York, East Coast time.
I am live, and so are we.
We're
not dead. A lot of dead air, though, right?
We got sounds, but you got a sound effect for that now.
Oh, yes, right. I do. Here we go. There we go.
All right.
You know, Craig, looking sideways, you have one mustache here coming straight out.
Really? Your makeup should have picked that up.
I thought...
Going to have to talk to them.
Yeah, our makeup people out there.
Yeah. Well, we're back with you for another week.
Gray, anyway.
Just got done with our pre-game meal at Paty's.
Pre-game.
And once again, Heather, who was a phenomenal waitress, took care of us.
Yes, indeed. She puts up with us.
And, yeah, really good. I mean, and we really appreciate people at Paty's who support us and also, take care of us. So,
as they take care of everybody there. Yes. It's always a great place to go.
Please stop by sometime and just tell people at Paty's you heard it on the podcast, because we always tell them that we're giving them a little free publicity out there. And
Riverside and Foreman? No, not Foreman.
Clybourne.
Riverside and Clybourne.
As close to Burbank as you can get.
Toluca Lake. Right. Burbank adjacent.
We will miss her next week. She said she's going to Seattle for a vacation.
Yeah, well,
what are we going to do?
I don't know who gave her permission to leave. But
who wants to go to Seattle on vacation on a Monday in December?
It's raining.
She likes the rain. We agreed that we both like the rain. So
let it rain, baby.
Looking forward to
let it rain.
Don't get a lot of that down here.
Well, we might get George's daughter as a waitress. We'll see. What was her name? I can't think of her name.
You brought it up, and now you're going to just leave her hanging.
Anyway, we'll hold that for next week.
Yes.
Maybe it'll be the word of the week.
Might be the word of the week.
Might be the word of the week. Speaking of, everybody listen up for the word of the week. We'll announce it a little later on.
Whenever
it happens. It could happen anytime during the show, but you got to listen up. And what do they get if they are the first or chosen?
The chosen one by Alexa, which one is going to get
random. The first person to email
$25 gift card.
I'm trying to do this
Hill Street
myself.
Cafe.
No. Yes, $25 gift card.
Have it all, Craig.
We'll go over the rules when it comes
these
up.
might be his show notes.
What happened? These are the show notes. Right here.
Yes.
There you go. Very important stuff.
We don't have a lot for
this just in. This just in. It's the holiday week. There's just not a lot of, especially governmental business going on during Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's holiday. Everything kind of shuts down, which is why we're off to a very slow, glacial pace for this show.
Well, we got a couple of things. First of all, last week's winner was Walter Dolan.
Walter Dolan. Right, very good.
Strike up the band.
He won the $25 gift card to Hill Street Cafe.
Strike up the band for him.
Strike up the band. Good for him.
Good old Walter. Remember him well. You could hear him in the hallway.
So hopefully he enjoys his $25 Hill Street Cafe gift certificate and all the great soups and good time of year for soups too.
Everything's homemade there. The dressings, the soups, good stuff.
So, okay. Well, to start with, I want to do a little follow-up from last week's show.
Follow-up?
I kind of went into a little bit of one of my tirades, of course, about the school board meeting and our school board president.
That tirade.
Right. Well, he talked about, he sat up there on his throne, at the podium.
We are talking about
Steve Ferguson.
Who is
the
school board president.
Oh, okay.
Oh, thank you. You had to remind
There's the
me.
background. Yes. Yeah, you're forgetful, I know.
And he sat up there on his throne or his podium or whatever you want to call it.
Altar.
And
pedestal.
Yeah. And he talked about how he gets along so well with all the city leaders. And he gets along, and the problem is not the city leaders, it's the staff. And threw poor Justin Hess under the bus. And we got Justin Hess back out of the bus again. He's doing fine.
Is that a Burbank bus that he's on the back
Yeah,
of?
that's why I didn't get hurt, because there's nobody on the bus to weight it down. But we got an email from a listener.
See,
And
we
by
do
the way,
have.
we want to thank everybody for listening, because our every week, don't ask me why, but it keeps going up a little higher every week as we go along. And
But we're also getting emails from listeners when they listen to the show. And here is a real good.
Here's a good, yeah. So we got an email from a listener, and they said they were very involved in the renaming Dolores Herta Middle School from Jordan Junior High School, or Jordan Middle School.
The ceremony.
Yes, the ceremony.
Right.
Very involved in the ceremony. And listened to our podcast and said, well, let me tell you about Mr. Ferguson. When we went...
I don't think she said Mr.
No, she did not. We went to rename that school, or to have the ceremony. He did not want us inviting the city council members, because he was in a little bit of a spat with them. So that's why Jess Talamontes and Bob Frutos were not invited, and was told not to invite them, because there was some kind of an issue going on between him and the council members.
And didn't even say that he made a point of saying all they want to be is in the pictures.
Yes.
And that's it.
They just wanted to be there so they'd be in a picture.
Which takes the limelight away from Mr. Ferguson.
Yes.
The team player.
So,
yes,
for somebody who
Waterboy
has that history, and then of course he cancels the meeting with the city council and claims it's because of city staff. Well, you know what? Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. And guess what? History just repeated a little bit with him and his attitude toward people. Now, he can sit there and blame staff all day long, but he didn't want the city council at their and let's just face it, the city council has nothing to do with that whole thing, but it's a you invite the mayor, especially when you have Hispanic council members, and it meant a lot to them,
but to go out of your way to not invite them.
And when they said, "Hey, we didn't invite the city," and he said, "No, don't invite them." He told this person, "Don't invite them." So,
and Dolores Herrera.
Dolores
Herrera. I wrote on my pictures Doris, and I goofed up. It was Dolores Herrera, who I've gotten to know because I photographed her at other events. She's charming to be with. She is a very Cesar Chavez, and her, her name is pretty big. And when you come into Burbank like that, we're a small city, 17 square miles. You as a courtesy.
I'll be honest, I'd never heard of her. Cesar Chavez for years, never heard of her. But once they named the school after her and all that stuff, and you got to know a little bit about her and her history. My only thing about that was she had no Burbank connection. That was my only thing. Was I was kind of going for Amelia Earhart, because she did fly out of Burbank. I thought, okay, at least we have a connection in the city.
Right, there's a nexus to the city,
right?
Specifically,
and she's a very well-known person. And but you know what? I have no problem with what we went.
That's
with.
that's
really
not
nice.
either really the
issue. Not the issue.
It's not the issue.
Not the issue at all. The issue was he did not play nicely with other elected officials in the city, yet he claims at the podium that he gets along great with all of them.
Yeah, if you ask him.
Even our vice mayor went up to the podium and that night and talked about, how other people misrepresented what happened, and what a great relationship they all have, and which I thought was a little bit, I thought he was playing politician a little bit.
That's why we call it the week that was.
Yeah. Or the issue that was. Anyhow, so that's not a correction, but that's a little more behind the story.
Well, we share, we get emails.
So we appreciate that email.
Yeah,
what's a good email if somebody wants to give us feedback like that?
More
information.
No, you can put news at myburbank.com.
News at myburbank.com.
Yeah, we get it all. Everything comes in. So
I always appreciate feedback, corrections, and kind of
absolutely
a little more context like this one tonight.
If somebody has something, please let us know. If we make a mistake, we're gonna correct it, and we'll even admit it. Well, I never make mistakes, and I never admit it either. But I don't admit that I make mistakes.
Wow. You must have a sound effect for that.
No.
Toilet flushing, or
Well, we do have that, in fact. Anyhow.
but it being the holiday season, we are going to yada yada right through Tuesday and Wednesday.
Tuesday and Wednesday, you know
and
what?
land on Thanksgiving
It didn't
Thursday.
happen much, but Thursday,
The 23rd.
Thursday we had a little Thanksgiving, and we appreciate all the turkeys who made it through,
And those who sacrificed.
and those who did sacrifice.
Well, I'll tell you. Can I just share with you? I feel sorry for my turkey. I smoked my turkey.
Oh, in your pipe?
And you've been over.
They smoked him in the backyard.
Oh,
I do. I smoke them in I have a Traeger smoker and had it for many years. And every year everybody says, oh, the turkey's so moist. It's so delicious. Well, I only cook turkey for my 2 granddaughters because my son doesn't eat any meat or fowl or anything anymore.
foul or fair.
So I put a new, what they call a hot box, in my barbecue. And I looked at the temperature for half an hour, and it was at 220. And it was, go ahead and cook it for 3 hours. Well, I got up. I went back to bed, and I got up in 3 hours. I looked. Temperature went from 220 to 350. My turkey was a little dry.
Was it turkey jerky?
Well, it could have
Yeah,
been.
turkey jerky for.
I was going to make it soup out of it, but I didn't want to hurt anybody.
But your granddaughters made you feel good anyway by saying what?
Oh, they loved it. We just put more.
A lot of gravy. I told you. You sent me a text too, and I said the turkey was a little dry. I said that is why God invented gravy.
But my granddaughters, I have pictures of them with olives on all 5 fingers. I made a Jell-O mold, and my granddaughter loved it. And the best thing was when I said open your mouth, and I took the whipped cream and I sprayed it down their throat, and the one that was so much she couldn't eat, she couldn't swallow
Are
it.
we sharing too much right now?
Yeah, Mike.
I just can only imagine. I went to the home of some friends. They had gathering of family and friends over there, about 15 people, and it absolute feast. Some very good cooks in that group, I'll tell you. But it's you always want somewhere to land on Thanksgiving.
So
Family, friends, you want to try to be somewhere. You and I have been friends for a long time. We've had Thanksgiving dinners at restaurants before, but we're there together. You know what I mean? So
yep, we have.
yeah.
But I got a question for you. That tryptophan crap they stuff in the turkey, did it affect you like it did me?
No, but Thanksgiving
But that's,
Day
that's also a myth and a legend.
Oh, come on.
There's no
Tryptophan.
There is
It's a myth.
tryptophan. They said the tryptophan that's involved in a turkey has no effect on a person.
Come on.
All right.
You'd have to eat
I want
14
confirmation
turkeys.
from an MD out there that's listening. Is it a myth or is it not a myth?
I do
But-
know.
Thanksgiving Day usually, historically in my family, ended on the living room floor watching football. Everybody just passed out everywhere.
This is the
watching
first
football.
year they didn't care what I wore. I wore some shorts.
They kind of do.
Well, they do.
I guarantee they kind of. There's a boundary somewhere.
Well, you're right. I didn't wear my blah, blah, blah shorts.
Right.
I wore some shorts that didn't have drawstring, no belt. It was so comfortable.
But you still wore suspenders, right?
No,
With your shorts? Oh,
I
okay.
didn't. And my granddaughter said, "You're wearing a different shirt." I said, "Yeah, because I don't have to hide my suspenders."
Well, that's my usual wardrobe every day. I don't dress up for anybody.
And you had a good Thanksgiving, Craig? The other
Well,
Craig?
being an orphan, it's easy for me. I don't have to worry about family of any kind.
Right, but you
No
went
aunts,
you
uncles,
went a
brothers,
little ways
sisters.
away
no
and
cousins.
had a gathering.
I went. My roommate
Attended a gathering.
My roommate to see his sister in Simi Valley.
Now, wait a minute. You got permission to live in Burbank?
I got
He
permission.
left the bubble.
I got permission.
They
Of course-
dropped the shields for long enough for him.
Of course,
to
I didn't drive.
I was going to say, who programmed your GPS?
No. So, well, we went there and had had a little bit of the old, and then,
Drink any eggnog?
no, I didn't have
too
eggnog.
early for eggnog. That's
Oh, it
Christmas.
is.
But
That's Christmas.
we have eggnog here at the house.
But it says
By the way, Altadena eggnog, if you can drink eggnog Altadena is the world champion.
I don't. Oh,
No,
well, how about
what's the
that
one?
Bulgares?
Bulgaria.
It's
I
in
don't
the
know.
it's in the
I-
stores
I
right
have-
now.
No, I've tried that, but to me, Altadena is the world
Really?
champion with the Boldare and the Southern Comfort.
All right.
Close
Oh,
second.
well, you're okay. I'll have to try.
Oh,
the
yeah, I've
Altadena, but
tried
Bulgares
many.
comes in the glass
Yeah,
milk
the glass
bottles.
bottle.
I still have my Huelhauser bottle.
They make a nice chocolate milk too.
They do. Very rich. Both are very
Yes.
rich, but the glass is really thick on those bottles, so there isn't as much in there as
Reminds
you
me
think
of the
there is.
old
Kind of like a
Carnation
good
milk
bottle of
bottles.
wine.
Like the old Carnation milk bottles.
Yeah, it's the old
We
milk
had those
bottles. It's a
delivered.
family-owned dairy in Montebello
Yep.
that has
Yeah.
been threatened to be closed a couple times for freeway constructions and things like
Well,
that.
do
but
I
it's still
date
there.
myself? I remember Chuck the milkman would bring our bottles of milk and put it on the wall because our next door neighbor had a German Shepherd who would try to jump up and get his hand. And in the morning when we woke up before school, we would have our milk, fresh
The
milk.
things back then, we had the Carnation milkman who came to our house. We had the Helms Bakery truck came
Oh.
down our street.
Those were
You
the
know.
days.
Oh, amazing!
So what did the fire department was delivering some food around
Who did
town?
you just sound like? What's her name on
Edith,
Edith.
there you go.
Well, it started as Edith and turned into an Archie, but I was trying to do it quietly too.
Yeah, well, I
We don't want any copyright
They're
hits.
both bunkers.
I didn't want to do it too well because we don't want any copyright hits on the YouTube.
The
you know.
license is amazing.
But the fire department was delivering some food around
Well,
town.
you know, for many, many years, they've teamed up with Family Service Agency of Burbank, who we know real well.
Oh yeah,
They come up with a list of families that are people that are in a couple of their homes and apartments and so forth. People that are don't get that, Thanksgiving dinner. And Command Performance, who does our breakfast at
Mhm.
the Care Walk, they did their dinner at the Imagine the City. They donate all that, and they donate like $4,000 to $5,000 worth of food, and they cook it and they deliver with the aid of the Burbank Fire Department to 50 to 100 homes.
they got the wheels.
They have the wheels and they have the hands.
Yeah.
But Command Performance.
Oh, good stuff. He does a lot of
He does.
philanthropy in town.
Is that just a caterer?
Yep. And
But if you eat breakfast at the Care Walk every year,
every year
he
he does
them.
pancake breakfast. He
And
does
that's all
burritos.
donated.
So Lewis is the owner. He's handing it down to his son, and just hats off to Command Performance for supplying families.
There's a
Here in
few
town.
places all around LA that every year give out free meals and things like that, and they all just really enjoy doing, and they look forward
Absolutely.
to it every
And
year.
there are places you can go and donate food. You can go and serve food at different shelters and things like that. But a lot of people, you don't think there are people in need in Burbank, but there are people that don't have families, that
Right.
don't have someplace to go. You want them to have that something on things.
And so many times I watch the news a lot every night, and I watch. There's so many organizations that have their Christmas dinner a week in advance, days in advance, or the Thanksgiving dinner in advance,
Mhm.
and the celebrities all show up. Oh, look at me, I'm on. I'm somebody famous. Please, a photo op. But then there's the events that happen on the actual day, either be Thanksgiving or on Christmas. And when those celebrities show up on a day that is not easy, where they could be doing things with their own family, and then they show up on those days, that's where I respect them.
Yeah.
Not on the days they show up. Well, let's have this event 5 days in advance so we get celebrities.
Well, it's like
here.
all the Christmas specials are filmed over the summer.
Right,
You see on
right.
TV
Yeah.
when everybody's available because everything's on hiatus.
I heard side story real fast.
But that was a side story.
Wonderful Life. Wonderful Life, which we all every Christmas Eve, was actually shot out in Tarzana. Shot in July. It was 110-degree days most of the time, and at night they had to. They couldn't figure out how to get the snow because they had to have snow, so they actually used soap suds and soap, and that's what they used for the snow. And I guess it left a lot of problems and slipping and everything else. And
Yeah, but that neighborhood was never cleaner.
nope, there you go.
Squeaky
But
clean.
back to what you were saying about all these, at the Midnight Mission, at the Laugh Factory. I can go down the list.
Those are also the event on the day.
Right, but you know what?
I respect that.
Those people that are down on their luck, that, they don't eat perfectly like most of us. They're real grateful that, when you're cooking turkey for 5,000 people, like they did for, down on Skid Row, you feel for those people. And I'm glad that, we're in tough times. We've all been experiencing. They're really down on their luck. And I guarantee they're all real grateful.
And we all, in our own ways over the years, have done a lot of volunteering. And if you're looking for something to do over the holidays, you got some extra time. What a great way to give back to the community.
Yep.
You don't walk away feeling bad about your participation. You made somebody's holiday a little better.
And they always say when you walk away from that, you feel so much better.
Yep.
So
You're that much better for it.
You think of what's going on the other side of the world. This 4-year-old that her parents were killed, in this, and she's released now, and she probably at 4 probably won't remember it, but how grateful,
I'm sure she's going to remember the ordeal itself.
Yeah. That's
sure.
just the trauma of it all.
At 4 years old, that's going to stick in the.
She had to climb under her dad who had been killed.
They said that the first thing they did was they took all these people to hospitals, not only for a physical check but for a mental. There are all kinds of
absolutely
people standing by, and
the trauma of it all.
So grateful for Thanksgiving. We're glad it's here.
Glad to be here for another one.
And then Friday,
Yada yada.
I stayed in my shorts.
Oh yeah, I ate leftovers all day.
I'm still eating leftovers.
Yeah, I do. I am too. They loaded me up pretty good. Wouldn't let me leave, but I actually pawned some off on you today. Bunch of peppers, a whole bag of peppers, because they gave me so many I would never go through them all. So I know you would. You're quite the
I'm
chef,
not a leftover person.
quite the chef.
You're
just hungover.
Yeah, I'm just.
Well, it's funny. My son went out of town Friday. They went to Santa Barbara with the kids, and they had to have me take care of the dog, let the dog in and out. Well, I had
let the dogs out.
Well, I let the dogs out.
I think he's heard. Have you heard that one?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
We're always worried about Ross's.
His musical
I've been
aptitude.
to Burbank High, and they play that one, I think. Burbank High, the Bulldogs.
Haven't played
let
that in
the
a
dogs
long
out?
time.
Who let the dogs out?
Yeah,
Anyway, you were saying.
So I had finished my leftovers on Thursday night at my second meal. So I had to go let the dog out. They had plenty of leftovers they took from my house. I just had them. There's that dog.
There's that dog.
That's very triggering. That was Dodger. Thought it was
sounded like Dodger.
Dodger the dog coming
I think
in
I recorded that off of Dodger
to
being
bite my leg.
upset that he wasn't allowed in the house on podcast.
Only
nights.
when I'm here, apparently.
So I got to raid some of their leftovers, and my son came back Saturday, and they said we came back thinking that we were going to have leftovers, and I left them enough for leftovers.
You left him some overs.
I did. And I learned that my niece loves ham. I bought a little tiny ham. Never had ham in her life, and she said, Papa makes the best ham. I just
What's the worst ham she's ever had?
right.
That might have been it too, and she doesn't know it yet.
Old hamstring?
So they were blown away that my granddaughter loves. But they also got to go home with candies and other goodies.
Right on.
Okay, well, that's it for the week that was. And
Zoom right through that.
Not much of a week that was, but that's what it is. So we're going to have a quick commercial break, and we will catch you back on the other side.
Have you been thinking about putting an ADU or auxiliary dwelling unit on your property? How about finally adding a room or even remodeling? Brennan Construction here in Burbank is ready to serve you. They can handle architectural plans, engineering plans, designs, and more. The owner is not only a lifelong resident of Burbank, but a proud graduate of Burbank High School. Call Brennan Construction at 818-624-0711. That's 818-624-0711, or check out their ad on myburbank.com.
Monday. You know whose birthday it was today?
It still is Monday.
You know whose birthday it was today?
It's one of our hosts.
That's right. He has his own
The
podcast.
Kids Corner.
Good old Riley, Ashley's son,
Yep.
turned 11.
No sound effect? No nothing? No happy birthday? No nothing on the board there?
Well,
Mr. Producer?
I don't know. When we have our meeting.
We're going to fix that in post?
No, not at all. Because when we have our meeting, we usually would say, "Why don't we put that in?" I go, "Okay, I'll put that in for you."
Well, we did. Riley's birthday party is
Right.
in our show notes. We want to wish
Somebody's stirring the pot tonight.
one of our writers and creative people, Ashley Erickson. She asked her son what he wanted for his birthday, and he said, "I want a big party." She rented out the Colony Theater, and she had the red carpet. She had the step and repeat. Everybody was in there, all his baseball friends and soccer friends.
Step and repeat.
Step and repeat.
Yeah, for people not
I do not understand.
in the photographer or event business, what's a step and
Well,
repeat?
it said something to his birthday.
Right, where you have the backdrop and everybody walks
And the
by and gets
paparazzis
their
are all
picture
there.
taken in
Well,
front
I
of
was
it.
the paparazzi.
Okay. Well,
Paparazzo.
a step and repeat. That would
Paparazzo.
be a very.
Most people know, I thought, what step and repeat
Yeah, it
is.
sounds like a dance.
Oh,
Dance
okay.
move.
So his friends showed up, black tie. The girls were in dresses. They had champagne called Martinelli's. It's a great brand, I hear. It's real hard stuff that the kids could enjoy. They had a photo booth.
Non-alcoholic, I'm sure.
Martinelli's. Do they make a
Sparkling
alcohol?
cider.
I don't know. You said champagne.
Yes,
Oh,
you did say champagne.
Martinelli's?
I don't know what that is.
The kids are all walking around with champagne glasses
All right.
thinking they're... And then they were going to watch
Highfalutin.
some movie.
A gala. A gala.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, congratulations to
Very
Riley.
cool. And a special announcement here is at dinner tonight, you,
Me.
the other Craig, tried a new sandwich.
I did.
But I want to know, was the coleslaw on the bottom or on the top?
Well, it originally came on the bottom, but then after some coaching by a veteran Truesdale sandwich eater,
Yes.
he said, "Turn that sucker over and put the coleslaw on the top." And so I did that, and it was a very good Truesdale sandwich at Patty's.
That was a hefty sandwich too.
I would thought I was back at some of the delis, the deli we went to on
Yeah,
Ventura
big old
Boulevard.
deli, like a Cantor's kind of a sandwich,
yeah,
like a
it
good
was-
old deli sandwich.
Yeah, it was over like an inch and a half packed.
What do they call that?
But-
mile high?
Mile high sandwich.
It was about that.
But-
You know, if that thing fell on your foot, you forget about knee surgery. You would have
already limps.
People say I have a big mouth, and I still have trouble getting that damn thing, around it. So
But the Truesdale is a great sandwich option at what's the name of the
Patty's?
place? Oh, that's right, Patty's. I almost forgot.
Yep.
But it's turkey.
Who's our waitress?
Swiss. There's coleslaw in the sandwich,
Yes.
which I love.
now I went with the cheddar cheese instead of the Swiss
Go with
cheese.
cheddar, or you could have rye or sourdough bread.
I went
But It's
sourdough.
a great sandwich. But what did you? What is your overall opinion of it?
I give very high marks. I was very impressed with it. I enjoyed it immensely. I thought it was a great. There's something
Well,
great to try.
we
to
are
hear.
the connoisseur of many diners in
Or
Burbank.
eateries.
There's not much food that I haven't eaten. Trust me. Look at me.
Well, Craig Derling, you have
Yes,
had
sir.
it at Lancer's, you said.
It's a sandwich you'll see at different restaurants, and they all call it something different.
And we learned why
At
this one is
Lancer's
called.
Lancer's on the other side of town. They call it the Empire sandwich. Same thing. But at Patty's, George, the owner, named the sandwich the Truesdale because he grew up in Truesdale Estates. So he named the sandwich the Truesdale.
Look at the information people are learning from
All
us.
kinds of useless information. I have to lose memories. I push memories of my childhood out to make room for this
Well,
useless
wait a minute.
information.
Do they make a Truesdale or an Empire at Hill Street? That used to be your home away from home.
I know. I'm trying to remember.
Well, you have new ownership since he used to always go in
Yeah,
there too. So
yeah.
the menu could be changed by now.
If not, I bet we can.
I think
talk them
you know
into
what.
it.
I think there was a time I actually ordered like a version of that with. I said, can you put the coleslaw in the sandwich for me? And they looked at me sideways. And they did it, and it was the same thing. But the secret really is if the coleslaw is in the bottom part of the sandwich, when you get it at your table, flip it over real quick so the bread doesn't get soggy from the coleslaw. But you had a layer of cheese in there
I had a layer of cheese on
that
top
may very
and the
well
bottom.
have sealed off that
Yes,
problem.
on the top and bottom.
And what did we learn from that guy that does the burger dude guy
He-
when he went and visited Gary Brick once?
He did, and Gary told him that they always
secret?
make sure you toast the bun and you put the lettuce below the meat on the bottom
So-
bun.
So that's the weather sealing.
Yep.
Yes.
Like it. I like it.
But then what happens when you don't order, when you want to hold the less in your burger?
It
All right.
kind of falls apart in your.
So you got an A+ rating from me and the other Craig Sherwood
Yes.
on the Truesdale at Paty's. Try it out.
And I had the I got my tooth back in.
Got the chiclet in?
I had the Chinese chicken salad.
That smelled good. Like, the dressing smelled like a proper
He cooked that chicken and had to let it cool because you don't put hot chicken in a cold
salad. Yeah.
Cold salad. It was very good.
Well, hey, Rick, can you tell that it's just been a real slow week last week and this week? Because we are rambling about.
Speaking of Chinese chicken salads, though, I think we'll both agree that the dressing can make or break that salad.
Definitely.
And that smelled like a good dressing.
It was.
I didn't try it, but it smelled like a proper.
I got some more. I taken some.
Oh, you got half of it on your shirt too.
No,
not today.
I wore a bib.
You
tonight.
did have a bib tonight.
But I got half in the car. You want to take a spoon?
No, I'm good. It'll give me something to order tomorrow when I'm at Patty's.
well, it'll give you something to eat tomorrow because there won't be a city council meeting to watch because once again they're dark.
Oh, so nothing to do on Tuesday.
Yeah, Steve Ferguson canceled the meeting.
Well,
no, not really, but might as well. They haven't had a meeting since he canceled the one.
what a party pooper.
Don't we have music to go with Party Pooper? Or what show am I thinking of?
What show are you thinking of? It's not this one.
Anywho, there is something going on Tuesday.
Yes, there is. There's going to be an event at the Colony Theater. Speaking of the Colony Theater from before.
Yes.
Ross, why don't you run that down for us?
Well, there is going to be a program. I know our Burbank Arts sent me a flyer about it. Fostering Dreams Project presents a night of dance and youth employment. Empowerment.
Employment's a job fair?
And what caught me about this, if we recall, we talked about on a podcast about the Colony taking over or running the Colony and the YMCA. This is a joint program with the YMCA, the Conundrum,
which is a great word, great name. It isn't the word of the week.
No.
But it's a great name for a theater company.
Well, but what they wanted to do, they wanted the two to merge, or they wanted them to work together. Well, this performance,
we'll find out on the 28th.
I think the Conundrum Theater Company is the YMCA. It's their theater company, right?
But if you notice where it's being held, at the Colony.
The Colony. And
so
when
I'm
is
glad
it
to see them working together. And
this could be a good sign for the future of the Colony.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's November 28th, which is this coming Tuesday.
28th.
At from 6 to 8:30 p.m.
Not like tomorrow.
That'd be like tomorrow.
It is tomorrow.
So,
and we have a contact on here.
Melanie at fosteringdreamsproject.org.
Okay, do you want to spell it out for
I imagine you can just show up at the Colony and get tickets at the.
I would think so.
Booth, so 6 o'clock open.
So if you're wondering, if you were watching the council meetings and all these kids got up and talked about the different theaters, what they get out of the Colony, what they get out of the
Conundrum.
Thank you very much. I got my tooth in, but it's loose. Here's a good example. Go see the kids and what they do in this town.
Well, this is also a dance thing.
Oh, they dance too.
Yeah, this is a night of dance, it says. So if you're into dance, it'd be absolutely. But if you're into acting and stuff like that, probably not for you.
But I'll tell you,
might be another night.
That's another night. Yes.
You know, even where the Colony is, convenient parking. They have their own entrance on the street or in the parking structure. If you drive a Tesla, you can charge it up there.
Yeah, the parking is actually at the mall and part of the parking structure
up on
there.
Third.
Right?
Yeah, in fact, the one level from the top, you can just actually park right next to the doors and walk right in. Yeah.
Yep. Good to know. All right.
Plenty of a handicap park. So,
and there was
great theater.
Parking for me there too.
Well, it'd be great to see them working together and see how that works out. It's a good sign for the future because I know it's been a great concern for everybody.
Right.
The future of the Colony. So good.
Yep.
Good.
Moving on to Wednesday, the Senior Citizen Board is going to meet at 1 p.m. at the Jocelyn Center.
You know, Craig, you qualify. Craig Sherwood, you qualify for that, I think, don't you?
Yeah,
I'm real close.
But I couldn't walk into the Jocelyn Center probably.
No, they have wheelchairs.
They have to walk. They have to wheel me in.
It is the Senior Citizens Board.
Yeah, I'm bored too. Anyhow, Wait a second. I have something for that.
Oh,
Anyhow, that's
yes, sir.
that was a Ross Benson request a couple weeks ago, and I'm glad we have it now.
Oh, aren't we? Isn't everybody? He's pushing buttons.
By the way, I've got
The producer's pushing buttons.
I've got a couple seasonal ones.
Got some stuff loaded, locked and loaded,
Yes,
ready to go.
I put a couple seasonal ones in for the future here.
All right, the salt and pepper, paprika,
Yep.
seasonings. No, is that not what he said?
Not a lot on the board to talk about, but they're going to meet, and those people are just glad they have somewhere to go and thing to do.
There you go.
Thursday. Okay, Thursday. Now here we go.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Because I'm looking around for things. I want everybody to know what's going on in the city, but this is a very confusing thing.
This could be a contest itself. This is a cut and paste from their agenda.
Yes, this is putting it right out.
Is to
right
decipher what this meeting is actually going to be about.
This is the city's website, and exactly.
I've never seen more acronyms.
This is the downtown Burbank transit-oriented development specific plan EIR scoping meeting. Holy cow!
Boy, oh boy!
Which is the EIR stands for environmental report.
Environmental impact report. I had to look later in the paragraph to see where that's actually.
It's from 6 to 8 p.m., but you can only get it through virtual. They don't say
it's only online.
Say Zoom, and you have to wait till the day of the event, and they'll send you a link.
It's going to take from 6 to 8 just to explain what the meeting's about.
Yeah, and
my VCR is still blinking. What do you think?
Well, the clock about?
Basically, it's about the downtown Burbank, the transit plan, and they're going to get a update from, I guess, Metro about something or other.
Oh, that's a punt right there.
Yeah, it's. Well, I'm not going to read this whole thing.
You want me to read it? You want me to read it?
Oh, no,
want me to give it a good read?
Well, you can read it, but
and let everybody else figure it out?
Yeah, go ahead. Give it a read.
The Community Development Department has released a recirculated notice of preparation, NOP, of the Program Environmental Impact Report, EIR, being prepared for the Downtown Burbank TOD specific plan. That one's not explained what a TOD is.
That's back in the beginning. That's a transit-oriented
development, as previously mentioned, and is hosting an online virtual community meeting, a VCM. At the meeting, the city will provide an update on the project and solicit input on the EIR being prepared for this project in relation to adjustments being made to the development potential for the project area.
Now, are they serving refreshments before or after?
No idea. Hopefully during, because somebody's going to need a break.
Like I said, a link is going to be provided the day of the meeting. Because they're hoping nobody gets the link and they just all go home then.
Because they're on the hook to explain what this is about then.
Yeah.
If people actually watch the meeting, they'll have to explain it.
Anybody who watches that meeting, please send us an email and give us a rundown.
Yes. You're a temporary reporter for My Burbank. If you can appear either recorded or live next week and explain what the meeting was about.
And if you don't want your name used, we'll be glad to keep your anonymity because you may not want people to know you actually listen to that meeting.
I got it. You read that pretty damn well because I was following along and
that was cold too. That was right off the. But the acronyms, I used to work alongside the federal agencies in the past, and haven't seen that many acronyms since working with feds.
Well, moving on to Friday. Thank God we're moving on to Friday.
Wow.
We're going to have the Betsy Lukey Creative Arts Center Holiday Boutique. What? What happened? I pushed a button. Max, I pushed a button and nothing happened.
Oh, boutique.
Boutique.
Oh,
Holy cow.
Sorry, I fell asleep. Boutique.
Well, you know what? I messed up because we put it in the second paragraph, not the first paragraph, so I wasn't ready for the button.
But that's it, folks. Boutique is the word of the week.
That's it. So send us an email to contest@myburbank.com. Give us the word boutique, and we will be glad to enter you into the contest.
Now, should they put the word in the subject line, or just say word of the week in the subject line?
Put in the subject line too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the respondents will be entered into a random drawing for the $25
we tell Alexa to pick a number and
gift card.
Whatever that is, they get it.
To our beloved Hill Street Cafe.
And remember, you can only win once every 3 months. So if you win the last couple of weeks, I guess Walter this week will not be in the contest.
Now, I'm just curious.
You can still play, you just won't win.
You just can't win.
Yeah.
What can you find at the wonderful boutique?
Oh, that's right. There was actually a story attached to this, wasn't
Yes,
there?
there is.
I read some of my notes.
Oops.
You can find a wonderful selection of pottery, jewelry, paintings, tree ornaments, decorations, clothing, knitwear, and much more.
Much more. If you order now, in the next 20 minutes,
Is that a K-Tel product?
we'll include this set of Ginsu knives.
So anyhow, the items are created by students and instructors at the Betsy Lukey Creative Arts Center and members of the Fine Arts Federation. So it's a great place to do some holiday shopping.
When is that? That is Friday. That's this Friday.
This Friday.
From 9 to 5. That's kind of cool. That's
9 to
pretty
5.
darn cool. That'd be worth taking that in. Be nifty.
And it's called
Find
the
those,
holiday.
find those last minute or, last month Christmas gifts.
Yep.
Holiday gifts for the family.
Not even last minute. You're talking.
It's
24 days in
December
advance.
1st, but,
Called
it's
the
last minute.
holiday boutique.
Boutique.
Uh-oh.
Somebody have two fat
We'll note the
fingers.
time. Something else to fix in post production.
That's not being fixed. You can
4230.
you can figure out why we did that.
4234. That one. All right.
Anyhow, so
And that's being put on by the members of the.
like I said before, the Fine Arts Federation and the Betsy Lukey Creative Arts Center members.
Cool.
Excellent.
On students. Okay, so the weekend, guess what we're going to have this weekend? We're going to have another big event.
DIG, which we've confirmed at this point. The DIG, it doesn't stand for anything.
It just stands for
They're
dig.
just digging.
But they put in capital letters every time, as though it does stand for
That's
something.
what I keep thinking every time I see it.
But we need to come up with our own acronym for it. Or actually, that's the acronym. We need to come up with our
Why don't
own.
we just let them do it?
Yeah.
We don't want to get ourselves in trouble now.
Digging in Garden.
But that's at the Jocelyn Center from 8 to 10 a.m.
Yeah, they're going to.
Is that on Saturday or
That's
Sunday?
on Saturday.
That's on Saturday, December 2nd.
Yep, from 8 to 10 a.m.
All right.
Then later that night, we got our big event in Burbank. So
The big one.
the big one.
Big.
We have the mayor's tree lighting ceremony at City Hall at 6 p.m. Rain or shine.
Well, trees live outside, so they don't care.
So
Well, if you drive by City Hall, what got put up today? A tree.
A tree.
A tree.
A tree.
gotta have a tree,
A real tree.
Many years ago, I used
a
to
dead
get
tree, but a real tree. It's not a real tree. It's a dead tree.
Well,
It's
it is
real.
now.
It's real. It's organic.
Yes, it's
Made of organic material.
and it's dying slowly as we speak.
Yeah.
Well, many years ago, I'd get up at 6 a.m. They'd close off all of them. They'd bring in a huge tree.
Huge.
Huge. They had a crane lifted up over the fountain, and they took one of the tile pieces that are on the steps there, and they took it out, and they would shave the tree down so it goes in this hole, and then the Parks and Rec employees would come out and decorate it. And today, I don't think I saw any lights on it. They didn't come decorated, but there's a tree in front of City Hall now.
And the lights are going to be turned on at 6 p.m.
Well, the ceremony starts at 6. I think
Or shortly
they
there.
turn
If you
on
want to get
probably
a good spot.
probably around
to see it.
6:45 by the time we get to the lighting.
Okay. And that's Saturday or Sunday?
That is Saturday night.
That is also Saturday. Okay.
And they
Very
they'll have music. You can sit with Santa Claus. You can, I believe,
Merry Christmas. Ho, 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 ho.
listen to the guy. Where did that come from?
It could be the North Pole.
Just
South Pole?
do this. If you're going to sit on anybody's lap, make sure it's the actual Santa Claus
Oh,
that was
yep.
hired to be
Merry
there.
Christmas. Ho,
Oh,
ho, 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 ho.
You
Sounds
can
like Jabba the Hutt.
It does, doesn't it?
Go by Skywalker.
in past you could write letters.
Might have some reindeer there.
Wow, it is a slow week, isn't it? We're going through
slow
all
week.
the sound effects. But that's always cool. A nice Christmas, big holiday Christmas
They
tree
close
lighting.
off
ceremony.
olive. Santa Claus comes.
Santa Claus.
Merry Christmas.
In fact,
Ho, ho, ho,
you know who usually drives Santa Claus?
Rudolph.
The fire department, doesn't it?
Nope.
Rudolph.
No.
The reindeer.
Nope. Oh, you're right. They do put him on a fire truck.
Well, that's what I thought. Because
But-
they do the same thing every year.
But you know who brings some guests who will help him light the tree?
Mrs. Claus.
One of our advertisers, Richard Bertain from Bertain Escobar Financial.
Oh.
He has driven his classic car.
Oh, okay. Classic, I was going to say, sled.
No, no.
You slay me.
Last year, Santa showed up on a trike.
A trike.
He rides in on a trike.
Someday he'll ride a motorcycle.
Well, it's a big motorcycle.
Is there an engine on this trike, or is it just
No, it's got a big engine.
Oh, okay.
But they change it up, And
That's cool. So go just to see what kind of
if you have kids or if you don't,
ride Santa's going to arrive on.
Yep.
Merry Christmas. Ho, 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 ho.
Look at that, 2 sound effects at once. We can multitask.
But next week we got something to look forward to. After 2 weeks of like no meetings, what's next week?
We have 8 city meetings in 4 days.
4 days.
Once
Gonna
again,
cram them in.
We can't figure out how to have separate days, separate meetings. We have to have them all at the same time.
So are they getting all their meetings done before the end of the year? Is that what's happening?
No, it's just the way they schedule it. They might say it's the first Monday of every month instead of saying, how about the second Monday of every month or the third Monday of every month? No, it's good. All the meetings first Monday of every month. I don't understand.
And that's not even your pet peeve for the week.
That's not my pet peeve. But I just find that once again, I say it over and over again.
There are other days
why
in
they
the
can't
week.
prepare better.
There are other days in the week.
So I do have little pet peeves this week. Now
wait, is there a sound effect for this
we
one?
need a theme song for that. now?
we don't come up with something here. We'll come up with something. I'm not sure what. But of course, my favorite sound effect would always be but that does not have anything to do with it. Anyhow,
Be back to my days in Boston.
so my pet peeve,
If you know, you know.
I guess that would have been a good sound effect for this. Is we talked before about 24-hour restaurants in Burbank.
And the lack of them.
The lack of them. So here's what I found. So for about 11 o'clock on Friday night, and a friend of mine and I, he was working a sporting event and came by and said, what's a good thing to eat? And decided to go over to BJ's over on First and Angelino. And I walked in. Well, I hobbled in because, I don't walk very well. And I said, we got 2. Can we have a table, please? And they said, no, we can't give you a table. You have to go sit in a bar stool or sit in a booth. I said, well, I really don't fit in the booth very well, and I can't because of my knees sit on bar stools. I said, sorry, gotta go. See ya.
Well, because they don't have staff for the portion of the restaurant that.
Well, there was 5 different tables in use in the table area. Now, I'm sure they were seated before, but it's not like there was nobody in there. And how to help somebody who really doesn't, I just don't move that well, and to try to help somebody who needs.
They think they.
And I told him,
accommodate.
I told him, I said, I can't do that. And I said, oh well. So you're talking about an extra 20 feet. You're not talking about the other side of the restaurant.
Yeah.
So we walked. Just very upsetting because I've always enjoyed BJ's. It's a great place. We used to go there and watch a lot of sporting games and everything else. And I really didn't realize how sometimes how handicapped people do have difficulties at times. And I was just disappointed in their attitude towards the situation. And so we walked.
Yeah, it didn't sound like it would have put them too far out of their way to accommodate you.
No, it really wouldn't have been. It was a very simple thing, but they just didn't want to. It's like
That's too bad.
anyhow. So here's what we did. We're driving, and I went to the Alexa app as always and said, places in Burbank to eat around here. First, it gave me Barney's Beanery. Now,
You don't like beans.
no, I don't eat
There's
beans.
one in Pasadena. There's one in West Hollywood.
And there's one on First Street.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
And so we go by there, and guess what? There is no handicap parking anywhere around there. We went into the parking structure, no handicap parking. We went in front, no handicap parking. So once again, couldn't go there. I can't do all that walking, so no Barney's Beanery. So back to Alexa again, and Alexa came up with IHOP. I go, IHOP? He goes, yes, IHOP, you idiot.
They didn't want you to IHOP.
We've already determined that he doesn't hop.
So the IHOP on San Fernando and what's across the street?
Walnut?
And Walnut is a 24-hour restaurant now. I didn't know it was 24 hours.
So there are two.
Oh,
We got that and Denny's.
Denny's.
Yeah.
So
So
we've doubled the number of restaurants.
so I didn't know that's 24 hours. Now, so we went there, and,
Okay.
and here's another thing.
Ooh.
$4.69 for an iced tea. We're talking water and a little powder in a glass.
Right.
$4.69 for an iced tea.
Yeah, we were
They're
talking- we
open
were talking
24
about
hours.
Not in a row.
I don't mind, making a profit and things like that, but that's just gouging.
We were talking about that at dinner a little bit, and we were in agreement, even with Heather, our server, that's where a lot of restaurants, even McDonald's and fast food places, they make a lot of their profit on the drinks.
On drinks.
Especially if you go to a restaurant and order like a juice, an orange juice, an apple juice, you pay $4, $5, $6 for a glass of juice.
But $4.69 for an iced tea?
For water with a
little powder
bag in it.
Yeah, so I mean,
Hmm.
all the drinks were $4.69 too, not just all the drinks.
Just order a glass of water and bring your own tea bag.
Yeah, and the service was actually not very good, but the food was good, and it was.
You got pancakes?
They had pancakes. I'm sure
much
they
are
had
those?
pancakes, but they're
Okay.
20, well,
But
they are 24 hours. That was the thing we found
That's
out.
a positive take from this pet peeve of yours, is that we now know of two 24-hour
Yes.
restaurants left in Burbank.
And then finally,
And they're on opposite kind of sides of town, which is nice.
yeah, but that's down here near the
Put a
media
positive
district.
spin on that pet peeve.
That's near the media district. Of course, we're not in the media district.
Well, we're not in it anyway, so
but
as we've come to find out.
yes. And then the last part of the pet peeve.
Oh, geez,
was
this is like
coming-
a three-parter.
Oh, yeah, I mean this all happened at the same
Hey,
night.
happy
within 3
holidays
hours.
for the holidays, everybody. You get a bonus pet peeve.
We're coming home, and every light, we hit every light,
Red light.
every red light, and I understand we have to have lights, everything, but to sit there and wait at every intersection for a light to go through a full cycle, it's just ridiculous. When there's no cars coming the other, these things. We're in the 2023 time now. I mean, we have sensors on all these streets and everything else. Right. Why can't they, change the signal every so often? But if there's no cars hitting the sensor, change it back to where the car on the sensor is.
But at a certain time of night, a certain volume of traffic, when it hits that threshold, it should weigh more heavily on the sensor.
I would say between 11 and 5 or something.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than sitting in an intersection, being the only car in view anywhere, and you're sitting there at a red light. And now with the flashing crosswalk signals,
right?
It's like that's even worse, because if that little walk signal is still on the other side, you're that much further away from your light changing.
Well, when I get to Glen Oaks and Scott, to go up, continue above Glen Oaks, if you go over that sensor by 3/16 of an inch, you sit through.
Oh, if you miss it, it's easy to miss.
6 different cycles.
Yeah.
Well, it was always, I know it in days past, like Olive. If you go from one end of Olive to the other through town, the lights, I guess depending on the time of day, but used to be phased at 35 miles an hour, the speed limit. So if you went the posted speed limit and you hit the cycle at the right time, you had green, 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 all the way from one end to the other.
It's like coming down from the airport on Highway.
Yeah,
you're going north to south, and you're going that 35. You'll go all the way down, probably to Alameda, and never stop. But you come up that same way.
Forget about it.
You're probably stopping at least every other signal. So I'm not sure how they figure the timing out. But my thing is this: why not set these computers for sensors from like 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. so that people, I've seen people run the lights when they just sit there and there's nobody coming one way or another, and then you're coming up to a signal, and boom, they're not timed to start with, and then you get there, and then you're waiting for nothing. So anyhow, pet peeve.
It's a traffic engineering.
And who knows who the engineer of the week is this week? Because the guy who put all the flashing yellow lights in there, flashing yellow arrows, he's gone. But who knows who the traffic guy is this week?
We have the same person that's been there for a couple of years.
No,
but I bet you nothing's ever been said to him about it.
I bet you he's not listening either.
Just because, well, it's probably a traffic commission meeting at some point.
Ah, that's true.
You could go to and speak to them about it and bring that up. But lest you think that because it's the holiday season, you're going to miss out on Ross's rant.
Oh no!
No.
My rant was just a little bonus rant, but we
not
can't.
so lucky.
We got to end the show with Ross's rant. We got to.
Can't cap it. Everybody tunes in for this. I think
so.
For Ross's rant.
I've been scratching my head. I've been thinking of this one.
Oh my goodness!
'Cause if you
I
recall,
thought I smelled smoke.
Yeah, I see a little steam.
What's my line?
Wah, wah.
Last week, I forgot one of my rants, and I'm in the car driving home. I go, darn it! I know what I wanted to say.
That's why we have a rundown. You can actually write
They do
that stuff
say
down on.
that
Like
your
I did.
best argument is always on the drive home.
Yes.
When you think of all your best stuff.
I was thinking that, this Halloween, we had some fantastic decorations in the city of Burbank. I know there were a lot of people, writers and different people in the industry that had a lot of free time on their hands.
Well, you also have a lot of set decorators and prop people and all that.
I hope.
You hope.
With Christmas upon us, we get to see. You okay?
Yeah, I hit my mic. Sorry.
Oh,
I'm an amateur. I've never done this before.
I hope that we see some real great decorated houses this year, because those same people might have time to climb up in their attic.
Well, they'll all get back at work now.
But not all of them.
Well,
and it's always worth a walk by Lily Hall.
My roommates have gone back to
on
work.
Moore Park.
Well, your roommates are too. There's a lot more.
Well,
I saw a lot more people picketing. And I never saw your roommates picketing.
Because they weren't on strike.
Oh, see?
Okay, so what was your rant?
So I hope to see a ton new, fancy decorations.
Let's see some
Christmas.
holiday cheer.
That's what it is. We talked a minute ago. Well, no, actually now 24 minutes ago about Thanksgiving and being grateful. Light up the neighborhood. It might cost you a little more because of your electric bill, but honestly, let's decorate and
everybody knows their neighbor, the neighbor that does it up for the holidays.
Well, what movie was that? I mean, yeah.
Well, Christmas Vacation. Yeah. It's on constant rotation at my house now. It's a holiday tradition.
You want to know where part of that was filmed?
Probably right here in Burbank,
which isn't there anymore.
Burbank is not
Burbank's
here anymore?
gone?
Well, no, the ranch.
Oh.
The house.
Oh, yeah?
The house that it was filmed.
That's right. And I saw it being torn down, too.
You sent me the
video.
The video of the guys showing that house that it was. Yep.
Yeah, and I didn't know. And even the round windows in the attic that Clark looked out at and all that, it's all gone.
It's all gone.
Never saw the movie. But I've never seen A Christmas Story either. The one with the kid or whatever. I've never seen that one either.
Kid? Leave it to Beaver?
That house is in Cincinnati, though. But
okay.
Shame on you.
I hate Christmas.
Oh, my gosh. Post-production.
Nope.
Go ahead and cut that out. 59-14.
Yep. I hate everything about it.
Well, wait a minute. What movie
We don't hate.
I do.
What movie
Too
was
much hate.
Macaulay?
Home Alone.
And I just
never actually saw that.
I just saw that.
There you go. You haven't seen that.
I didn't say I hated it. I didn't see it.
Oh.
I just saw that they're going to give him a star on Hollywood Lane.
They don't give those away.
No, they cost
$40,000. They get paid for by the people that get the star.
Yes, he bought his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Usually that's how it works.
That movie was done ages ago.
He's like 82 now, something like that.
I think he still looks the same too.
He's old. He's gonna be at the senior center this weekend. No,
but you know what movie I see? I hear Mrs. Doubtfire was done 30 years ago. A lot of the actors, except for
Robin Williams,
they want to do some type
R.I.P.
of. The guy that wrote it wants to do part 2 of it, and without Robin Williams in it. But
a little hard because Robin Williams was kind of the movie. He kind of made the movie.
He did, but all the actors.
Although I will say one thing, I did hear today that they're making not a remake, but they're doing a sequel to Spinal Tap
with Lenny and Squiggy. No, Lenny was in that.
Yeah, and they've already got confirmed. Besides the original actors, they've got Elton John and Garth Brooks and Paul McCartney will be appearing.
You just said Garth Brooks. Craig's going to watch it.
I'm there. I already got my ticket. I'm ordering my ticket now.
Garth Brooks is is. I know you're a big country fan. But
Oh, he is.
Garth Brooks. I worked one time when I used to do shows, and he was doing called the American Cinematheque. It was some kind of a tribute to somebody. And one of my jobs was to greet the town as they came in. And he comes walking in the back door at the hotel down in Beverly Hills, the
Beverly Hilton Hotel.
Beverly Hilton Hotel. Comes in the back door, and he's carrying his guitar. So I go, "Oh, Mr. Brooks, can I please? I'll be glad to take that." He goes, "Dude, man, you don't worry about me. I got this. I don't need any special help. Just it's all. I mean, I was saying to myself, what a really down to earth guy.
Very much so.
What a
You
really
want to know about Garth Brooks? You ask Mr.
Someday I'll
Sure.
tell you my Garth Brooks, Billy Joel, Dick Clark story.
Well,
Maybe when we have a quiet week.
we're only 101 into this thing.
No,
Hour
I'm
one.
going to save that one.
Okay.
I'm going to.
You know, last week,
See, I got a lot of people tuning into the future now to wait for that
See,
story.
we got to leave them wanting more.
Garth was on Kelly Clarkson. She's now in New York, and what a show! I mean, he had her in tears, and then he was singing, and she chimed in, and it was just like,
Yeah, I'm not a big, Garth Brooks. I'm not a big country music fan. Although I respect the music, I respect, the genre, and I respect the people who do it.
he's just a class act.
Just
But he really is.
Negative Nancy over here.
Well,
This guy.
I grew up in the hair band era.
I can tell.
Yep.
Good old Garth. He's
Good
just
old
a
Garth.
class act.
Stay tuned. Share that story at some point.
Well,
We'll
you know
put it on
what?
the rundown.
We only had a 20minute show. I don't know who sneezed or what.
And we
but
still
stretched-
screwed it up.
9 minutes of content into 63 minutes. We are good. If you're still here, boutique is the word of the week.
Oh, hold on. I was on the wrong page. I was on the
Boutique.
Santa page.
Boutique.
Boutique.
And I do watch Kelly Clarkson on the rerun quite a bit. And at the end of her show, and a lot of news broadcasters are saying it, if you don't like
Goodbye.
what's going on, change it. Do something good in your community. And now's the time that we could all see a
Plenty
smiling
of
face
opportunities.
in there.
Yep.
From it's the holidays, and if you're shopping, be nice and be pleasant.
Leave something in the tin cup.
There you go.
That's about it for me.
All right. I'm out.
I don't
I'm out.
I don't always agree with that sentiment, but I'll save that one for another
Well, that's
pet peeve.
big surprise. Big surprise, you curmudgeon.
You're outweighed.
It's our
All right.
big curmudgeon. You know
You're
who that is
outcounted.
now.
Yeah, I really can, but I'm not outweighed. Trust me.
All right.
Okay, well, that's it, everybody.
get
for
outta here.
Another week that was, and the week that will be. We thank everybody for tuning in. If you did, if you didn't, we don't care about you.
Wow.
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 He's in a mood.
Oh,
He's in a mood.
You know what? It's a
tonight.
Truesdale sandwich, I think.
Does that to you?
Yeah, it gets you a little bit fired up for
Sorry about him, everybody.
Tally ho.
or Talleyrand.
Talleyrand.
Okay, everybody.
Anywho,
That's it for another week. We will
we're out of here.
we'll talk to you next Monday. Thanks a lot for listening.
My Burbank Talks would like to thank all of My Burbank's advertisers for their continued support. Burbank Water and Power, Cusimano Real Estate Group, UME Credit Union, Burbank Chamber of Commerce, Game Credit Union, Providence St. Joseph Medical Center, Community Chevrolet, Media City Credit Union, UCLA Health, Tequila's Burbank, Logix Credit Union, Hill Street Cafe, Bertain Escobar Wealth Management, and the UPS store on 3rd Street. How would you like your business advertised in this very spot? My Burbank Talks is looking for local businesses interested in a 30-second spot to appear in our podcasts. If you're interested, please email advertising@myburbank.com, and we'll be glad to discuss all the exciting possibilities with you.